Welcome to the Pioneer Museum. Today we're in the Carlson Room, and behind us we have a former Martin County jail cell. And today I'm going to be visiting with Jean Vath. She's a Martin County Sheriff's Deputy. How many sheriffs have there been up to date?
We are up in our 24th sheriff. We have our 24th sheriff now.
When was the first sheriff? Does that go back to 1857, 1858?
Yep, 1857 was our first sheriff.
1857 till 2007? It's kind of the sesquicentennial then?
Yep. And the first 20 years or so, there was 10 sheriffs, and we don't have a lot of information on them because at that time, you're talking a county just getting started. Not a lot of media, not a lot of papers established yet. So there's not a lot of information on what was happening, what was going on. You're looking at, in some of that time, I believe, one of the first voting they had, there was only like 17 votes cast, and
So they've always had to vote for sheriffs then? I mean, that's always been an elected position?
Actually, yes, except for, I believe, the first one, the governor was the one that established that you're going to look for a county seat, you're going to look for...
Appointed maybe then.
Yep, you're going to be sheriff, you're going to look for the county seat, the county is going to be established.
Sure.
Then after that, it was elected. First election, I believe there's only 17 votes. But when it got to St. Paul, it read 1,700. There was a little bit miss thing.
Well, they had the first two digits right.
Yeah, they had the first two digits right. And then after that, there was not a lot of, in that time frame, you might have had 8 farms with one, during one, and like 151 people population sometimes. So you didn't have a lot of documentation on the sheriffs.
Thinking back to those, I know you've done a lot of research on the sheriffs. Which one do you think, or which ones would you say are unique or interesting?
Okay. Sheriff Carver would probably be the most controversial sheriff we've had. And he was...
He would be a relative, I believe, of Sam Carver.
Yes, I believe you're right.
Okay.
Yep.
Like a son or grandson or something.
Yes.
I think. Okay.
And he was controversial in that... well, one of the things, the reason he lost his re-election at the end was that he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan, KKK, and he was also was very strict on bootleggers and had a very high conviction rate of bootleggers. So that didn't go over well. That he that he lost the election. However,
you don't have to police bootlegging now, though, do you?
No. Don't have to worry about that. That's something different. We don't have to worry about. But he did publicly denounce the KKK and did say that he was, although he had been a high-ranking member, he did regret being in the KKK.
Now, was he a member when he was sheriff?
I believe he may have been when he started, but then I think it was towards the end when he denounced it. And then he also, towards the end of his career, he was credited with saving a young boy's life who his wife had heard in the back of the, many families lived in the jail. The wives cooked there. They usually cooked the meals, did the laundry, things like that. She had heard screaming from the Sisseton Lake and got her husband, who he found a boy that had gone off the ice and was about to drown, and he had brought a rope and rescued him and saved him from drowning.
Oh, good. So, well, you've done a lot of research and know a lot of the history of the Sheriff's Department in Martin County. Thinking way back to the 1850s, 60s to now, what are some of the things that the Sheriff's Department, how are they alike? And how are they different?
Alike in a lot of the similar ways of, taking care of disturbances, getting called out to disturbances, traffic stops, things like that. They still took care of a lot.
Horse and buggy at that time?
Right. Well, and you look in the 55, and the person's license was revoked for, at that time for the one that killed your hammer, he was revoked for drinking and driving.
So some of the same things happen then?
Some of the same things happen. Some of the same type of people you dealt with are very much the same. Some of the issues are the same. What has changed, obviously, is we are so much more of a mobile society than we ever were. So we have so much. We're not dealing with always the same people or people that it's been the same family year after year. When you're looking at early 1900s, now you get influxes of different people. People move in, people move out.
Sure. And the drug culture, I suppose now that would be a
Drug
big
culture,
difference from
right,
other
and
than
that-
alcohol. I'm sure is still a problem.
Right,
those days.
alcohol was a problem and it has always been a problem, but now you're talking the different drugs that come in like methamphetamine, which is really something that's come to the rural areas.
Sure.
And those are the type of issues we deal with now, the drugs and violations like that, and more crime than we had. In the past, you didn't have as much crime as you do now.
There's more now.
And there's more population,
Yeah, sure.
obviously.
Well, thank you very much, Gene. This is Lenny Tweeten for Our Story from Out of the Past.